hoe, shut the f up.
What is going on, guys? It is your boy RJXP here with another top 5 video for you guys, and in this one I'm going to top 5 games I thought were underappreciated or just overall just known? I don't know. These are those games that either didn't have enough traction for my taste or had too much traction for my taste. And I'm going to tell you exactly which ones, starting at number 6. Coming in at our number 6 spot, we have Battlefield Hardline. Now, I didn't actually get to play the full game of Battlefield Hardline, but I was there for the beta. Me and a bunch of friends had a lot of fun playing the Battlefield beta, but upon release, it honestly dropped off the radar. Not only for me, but for a bunch of my friends too. They mostly got the game, but only played it for the first 2 weeks. I don't know if the game, or the full game, was buggy or broken, or maybe it was even laggy. But it seems to me, based off the beta's reactions for me, I kind of wish it had a little bit more traction. Some people were saying the story was a little generic and boring, but if you think about it, Battlefield's always been a generic, boring game, and the multiplayer finally seemed interesting with this new take on cops and robbers. I really wish the game had more traction and it was really more fun, but I don't know. I didn't even buy the full game, so what do I know? Coming in at number 5, we have Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Now, Black Flag was such a big game for me. Assassin's Creed's Black Flag was actually finally a release I was waiting for. I had watched it, I saw pirates, and I was really excited. But upon the game's release, I realized how crappy they had actually made the game. Not only was the game bland and boring looking, but the game's story was terrible. It totally took away the idea of the assassins, like, you know, making you earn your hood for a thief that just killed an assassin, took his hood, and joined the Creed. The game just didn't make sense to me, and I felt like it was really annoying. Some people actually kind of liked it. Usually the responses are all together. The game just wasn't good, and we were really glad that it was over when it was over. Assassin's Creed is trying to make this thing like Call of Duty, making one every year. It just isn't working. You can also pair this number 5 with Assassin's Creed Unity. Assassin's Creed Unity was actually very broken, but I heard the story was pretty decent. I think if they would have actually spent time making that game better, they might not be on this list. Coming in at number 4 is Call of Duty Ghosts, and here we go, the Call of Duty fanboy coming in with the Call of Duty Ghosts. Call of Duty Ghosts was one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Call of Duty game letdown ever. Even some people found a little bit of fun in Advanced Warfare, but with Ghosts it just seemed like from the beginning it was terrible. I actually had a lot of fun playing in private matches against bots more than I actually enjoyed the multiplayer. Extinction was an idea. It wasn't bad. I hope they actually bring it back, because it wasn't bad, it just wasn't delivered well. It didn't age right either, especially with the DLC coming out being the exact same thing every single time. It made it so that way players felt like they were paying for the same thing over 4 DLC. Even the maps and multiplayer seemed like they were just the same things over and over again with no fixes. Instead of Infinity Ward fixing other things in Call of Duty, they should have fixed their time to kill. Coming in at number 3, we've got The Evil Within. Now, The Evil Within was supposed to be this huge release of scary, bringing back the survival horror genre, but it actually kind of killed it a little bit more. They kind of branded this game as such a, oh my god, it's so big and scary, you better run away thing, but it was more like a, oh no, it's big and scary, better set it on fire with all the obvious traps laying around. The game's trailers were shown as like, hey, you gotta fight this big monster, figure out how to defeat it, where it's more like, hey, you know that big monster? This is how you defeat it. The thing about survival horror games, the fun about them was trying to figure out how to get out of situations. This one was more like, here's a situation, and here's how to get out of it. Do it. It's more of an action-adventure game than a survival horror game, and that huge disappointment in my eyes. And I hope if they do make a sequel, they make it more scary. These are the guys that originated survival horror, and they kind of messed up a little bit. I'm hoping they realize what's wrong with it, and I hope it gets better in time. Coming in at number 2 spot, I have Dying Light. Now, Dying Light was a huge major release in 2015, and I'm pretty sure it was the first major release. Dying Light was a game I followed since its initial teaser trailer, back when the trailer didn't show anything but people running from zombies. I got so hyped to run parkour around, and the game was honestly really good. The game was actually very glitchy, as in, like, I would fly out of nowhere, my friends would get stuck in one pose, and we'd get stuck in walls, and I'd have to die. So the game was actually very broken in a sense, and it was pretty boring if you played solo. As like me, if you played the game 90% solo and like 10% with friends, that 10% was the best 10% of the game. But like I said, that 90% is way more than you play solo. So the solo part of the game was actually very boring and dull, and all you did was run around and get told what to do. Like, it was pretty obvious. Most games usually tell you, oh yeah, go here, do this, but this game actually, like, enforced it and showed you that you're just an errand boy for whoever you're talking to at that moment. Whether it be the bad guy, the government, Jade, whoever, they just told you what to do and how to do it, and it made it feel like you had zero control over anything. Coming here at number 1 spot is the biggest controversy I think you'll ever see on this list, and it is Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs was one of my favorite games to play on the PS4 originally, and it got a lot of hate over its disappointment. The game's mechanics were boring. They were just a basic cover shooter that didn't do anything new. But the crazy part is, the story was too long and very overcomplicated. They made it so it's like, yeah, your niece died, you're going to find out who it is, but you have to go through 50 people to find out who did it. I think the idea of the game was right, but I feel like the gameplay, mixed with the story being so slow and so long, it kind of dropped players out later in the game. The game was so good that it crafted one of my best friendships I have today. Watch Dogs, I owe you a lot, but if you ever do make a Watch Dogs 2, please don't mess it up. Make it better, make the gameplay more exciting, and maybe even throw in a few yucks. So those are the top 6 games I feel really needed a boost, whether it was in popularity or even just a boost in its technical standpoint. Do you agree with my list? Do you think other games were really underappreciated or overappreciated? If you did, put them in the comment section and tell me why. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.